What's going down? Oddworld's SoulStorm gets a brand new update, everyone. This is looking pretty solid for as far as the 1.13. My name's Mac, you're the MacGyver7 channel. For most of you, you're brand new here. Slam that subscription bell, join the M7 army, accompany that with a notification bell, and get ready for some exciting stuff. Returning community members, what's going down? Let's see what's changed in this odd world. I'll have this link down below as you can kind of see what ends up going down for the flow of the situation of our patch notes. So, as we can see right over here, this was a big one. So that's why they skipped over the 1.12 for most that were waiting. On top of that, we're going to scroll down to see what ends up happening majorly. And as we start the venture into the patch notes, they fixed some incorrect spawning for the RPG, for the slig in the yard and the ending descent. Also fixed for the Mudicons, you have the teleporting on the small lift in the escape. For being able to see fire through the platform in the hijacked, also the fixes went to the ensuring the Korma for each level is set correctly. To specific rock saw inside of the Nectrum, prevented Abe from being locked if he was hit at a checkpoint while crouching, then stood up. With this slick barracks, there's a lot of technicals, but you know what? They're very excited to fix this game, and I'm excited to read these patch notes for everyone because there's movement with this. This is a great game, honestly. Time I've spent with playing with it, it's been fun. But there have been some bugs like in the majority of all day one games nowadays. Moving on past that, where we can kind of see where the multi out of game world jumps have now been fixed. Dying after pressing in the final button in the yard no longer locks the games. The Mudicons no longer get stuck on the bottom for the destructive tower in the Nectrum mines, and the adjustments to the position of the mines in the Nectrum mines to allow for easier interaction with the door. The destruction of the bridge in the ruins no longer leaves a piece of wooden bridge on the ground. The rock star and the Nectrum on the longer drift apart in their timing. Fixed to the intro cutscene for the Nectrum mines. Moving on past the situation for as far as Abe specifically has a column, you can see that they've improved the backwards walk when stealth is aiming. On top of the situation for the improves feedback on the PlayStation 5 throughout the game. So they have been looking for as far as producing a well-rounded product. The players can now alter their throw distance with utilizing the mouse on the PC by adjusting their aim distance utilizing the scroll wheel. That's genius. Awesome. Abe no longer auto crouches when pushing against the pounder. The no longer die situation is a great patch over when touching an inactive pounder. Holy crap, that would just be one lame ass day. Abe will no longer get zapped on respawning after being zapped, like he's like some kind of reincarnation of like Thor. Moving on past the improved portions where the possession of the orb controls, you have Abe will now correctly crushed under the slam door when the NPCs has pulled the door lever. Abe's now correctly in the animation for as far as unlocking the locked locker and the improved monkey bars that they had promised. The improved portions of Abe and the motion codes when rolling inside of the situations also flow before we get to the AI and the NPCs. The last one for Abe comes across the table for the rolls in the indefinite portion of the sanctum. So moving on past that portion, as we can see that we have the fixes that go to the sligs randomly appear and frozen in the eye of the storm. Sligs no longer have the delay in the reactions to bouncy rock candy. Sligs now can correctly rise an alert level when hitting a non-lethal item. While looking at where the sligs shoot through the possessed sligs if they are close to the edge, the Mudicon's hat no longer pops off when the Muds are told to wait and then follow. The Mudicons no longer chatter when killed. That'd be like some zombie Mudicons, I guess. The snakes in the ruins now continue to fire upon the Mudicons after waking from being knocked out. The sick muds no longer become sick again if Abe heals before talking to them. Mudicons no longer throw into the distance at snakes far away in the Fico Depot. For the Mudicons now can react to properly slammed doors being closed, no longer stopping to follow Abe for the brief second when he double jumps, and the dead slug no longer distraughts their mesh when being hit. So the messes are kind of cleaned up. Other fixes that you can see that comes down to the tail end is the royal jelly effect now correctly persists after the checkpoints. The mines are restored through spinnings in the compound after the checkpoints. The improved to the game speak control setting on the PC. PlayStation 5 light bars will now be on the default for new players, and improved texture resolutions on the PlayStation 4. Further fixes to the non-visible closed slam door, especially the snakes in the barracks, the Mudicons and the shells, and the blimps in the Sorrow Valley has been adjusted for the difficulties, and now actually the land where Abe would have been when they were fired, making them more into a predictable and avoidable. So the improved subtitles, improved voiceovers in the final fight, the items in the crates will no longer fall through the floor after Abe is respawned in the blimp, fixes the gameplay in the master trophy, adds the master volume in the settings on top of the greater audios. The welding torches now respect the reduced strobing ability options and additions to credits. Smoke clouds, for examples, for the steams and the grates and the smoke bombs have been reduced for the linings to pick up the light for as far as the slick's gunfire. That actually is a little bit smarter because you can see what's coming at you. They fixed certain pickups for not being in the present respawn, and that is going to be the tail end of our batch. So if you are new to the network, you can definitely like, share, and subscribe. And they put a lot of hard work into this. This isn't like some newbie soft, like, we fixed it, and the next week, we think we fixed it. Like, I think that they've really worked well since the beginning patches till now, but I'd like to hear what the community has to show. Leave a comment down below and say, what's your gameplay today? I'll see you guys and gals in the near future, and if you haven't already, slam that subscription button. It's absolutely free, helps me out as a creator, and if you do, accompany it with that notification bell. You'll get all the new future patch notes as they roll out. Stay safe, stay classy, community, and I'll see you there.